Hey, we are live again. Happy Friday. It is May 9th. Boy, that really gets away from you, huh? So, a little different today. Eh, Taking some risks here, maybe oversharing. I wanted to take a quick break from, you know, dropping knowledge. There, there will be plenty of time to continue expertising up in here. I was inspired and a little afraid to do this, but inspired by two calls I was on this week, completely different calls, and both were about creating video content in general. And it's interesting, it's really interesting. And I don't say that lightly. It in a way when you interact with people who are inspired to create video, especially here on YouTube, which I'm absolutely loving. Some people are just getting started, while others, uh, like me, have started and are just kind of flailing about. And it's interesting, and maybe it's just that I have an oversized empathy muscle, but the level of anxiety it's palpable. Sometimes when you say it, oh, you're going to have to make a video about this, you see like this pale look coming over someone's face like they've seen a ghost. Or, you know, they don't say it. The thing is like this is often hinted about, and they dance around it with specific questions that are more either tactics or looking for tips and tricks for similar things like recording, you know, and that can hit in the comments, like if you're on Zoom or Google Meet or something like that. And it aligns with how I have felt in the past. And I did a short about a year ago on this, but I thought this was a cool opportunity to expand a little bit on the idea and really put all my cards on the table. So this one, like I said, is a little bit different, but like I said, it aligns with how I've felt in real life and a few comments I've received. Not here. We don't get very many comments under these, but I do get a DM on occasion, typically either in Slack or in LinkedIn from people I'm connected with. But really, comments locally, like IRL here on the ground in town, when someone's like, they hear about this channel, or I bring the channel up because they're talking about doing something and I try to share something like, well, here's how I've done that in the past. Not that I'm all that in a bag of chips, so that this channel is, changing the world in any way. It is absolutely not. But people normally ask some form of, aren't you worried about X? And they may not state their specific anxiety about the idea of creating video content in general, even if it's just in a private course or if it's Loom videos. Some people are just afraid to be on camera. I get it. Confidence on camera is a big reason why I'm here. It's one of the primary goals, is to just get better at it. But I spent the bulk of yesterday, because the second of the two calls, call was on Tuesday, the other one was on Wednesday, and I spent the bulk of yesterday thinking about how I can share this and what I should share, and I've jotted these things down in notes here, and I wanted to cover my limiting beliefs, and I was a little afraid of it. Actually, I'm still kind of afraid to do this, but I was just over at Sunshine Social, aka LinkedIn, and reading how absolutely soulless what was coming up in my thread from people I very much care about, people I don't know that well on my, my default timeline. I'm really glad that they're proud of their team. I'm glad that some people are comfortable sharing vulnerability on there. Shout out to my man, Carl Smith. But most people don't share vulnerability on LinkedIn. It's just not the place. Most people conduct themselves over there in a way that they would conduct themselves at work. So they're not going to say anything on there that they wouldn't say in front of their boss or specific, peers and colleagues. And maybe I'm crazy, but I'm going to put all my cards on the table. If this, because it's very different. Nobody badmouths anyone on LinkedIn, hardly ever. Meanwhile, YouTube is very much a takedown channel. Like every popular channel you see, you watch, very popular channels are just, the comments are just like littered with toxicity. And I'm not anticipating that anytime soon. Maybe I think I give plenty of food for fodder for that kind of toxicity, but nobody really knows I'm here, so that's fine. So what were the things that I had anxiety about going into this? And at the risk of oversharing, in no particular order, here are my limiting beliefs. And like I said, I did a short on this, but it was like 40 seconds long. And it was over a year ago. So I think this was an opportunity to expand on it. And the first one was that I'm not particularly confident on camera. I know it may not seem that because I'm in this box right now. I wasn't confident on camera for a couple of reasons that are tied to two other limiting beliefs coming up in just a second. But the reason why I wanted to do video is because I know it's good for business. It's good for building a network and a community. It's good for creating meaningful connections with other people that you don't know. These are absolute truths. And I'm not afraid of the camera, but I lacked confidence in front of the camera. So the only way through, the only way over is through, or something like that. Anyway, the other one is that I'm not smart enough. That's my second limiting belief. I know this is not true. I scored the Army's IQ score thing. I scored extraordinarily high and they gave me a great job because of it. So technically there's proof that I'm no dummy, but I didn't finish college, and I've been working with people who did, and try to submit a resume to a job and not complete the college education level thing and see how you feel. That's what I mean by sometimes you have a lack of confidence, or I lack confidence in feeling like I might not be smart enough. Because when I was a kid, my old man told me I'm not school material, I'm not book material. And none of that is true. That's just information that I got as a kid that I grew up believing, and it's all BS. The second one is that I'm not a thorough enough thinker. I think when I typed this out, and I typed these out a year ago, I think when I typed that out, I was going through a thing where I was entering a space where I was under the realization that maybe I'm not good at detail work, and I'm not. I absolutely hate data analysis, and I absolutely hate data entry. If I have to do anything repetitive, I jump out of my skin. But I'm really good at inspiring stuff and inspiring people and connecting people, and I'm inspired to do really creative things, and it gives me a ton of energy, so I absolutely love that kind of work. The next one is I'm too old. And technically, I just turned 54, so I am on the older side, especially as a Squarespace designer. But am I too old to get started doing this? I don't know. You can run a search on YouTube right now and see that there are lots of videos. People say, over 40, don't let that keep you from creating on YouTube. And they're absolutely right. I don't think there is an age. I think if you have information of value to share that can impact people's lives, that we have an obligation to share that. The next one is that I'm not a good enough speaker. This very much used to be true. I'm not sure it is as much anymore, but that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go live. I wanted to practice. I don't enjoy recording scripted videos much at all, and it's frustrating to do that. And I realize that I speak quickly, that I'm a bit of a mush mouth. So who cares if I'm not a good enough speaker? That might be my limiting belief, but that is not proof that I'm incapable of being successful in this space, because making connections with someone is not related to anything that disables them in any way. The next one is I have an odd-shaped mouth. I don't love it. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm over it. The next one is that I'm not confident on social media. And that has been really true. And it's probably tied to some of the ones that I've already shared here. But I think that confidence on social media sometimes comes from the other limiting self-beliefs. Not being strong on camera, or not feeling smart enough, or not feeling like I can speak articulately enough. So I am confident on social media. I think I'm more fearful that what I'm going to say is wrong or embarrassing. I don't know if you've noticed this yet, but you are 11 minutes into this video, and I might have a propensity to overshare. Shocking. The next one, and there's only one more. There's two, but one is that I don't believe in myself. Sometimes it's not that I don't believe in myself. I think it's that it takes a long time. I think some people learn it when they're younger, and I didn't start moving in a direction that would teach me this lesson until I was almost 50, because I just started my company 5 years ago. Is that old Wayne Gretzky thing of skate to where the puck is going. When you come up as an employee, sometimes you learn to wait for things to do or to be told to do something. You're not sure how to take some sort of action, and the action muscle can atrophy. So it's not that I don't believe in myself as much as maybe I'm saying, committing things to things that I don't know exactly how I'm going to get there yet. And that creates some amount of anxiety and uncertainty. But I have learned to have the confidence to know that if I just follow through with the things, show up, do the work, and be honest and be nice to people, that in general, those outcomes all come true in a positive way. And I fear what people will think of me. Certainly not unique to me. I'm sure we all have that in some ways. Otherwise, probably be a sociopath. But that's what I'm doing here. That's what I'm stepping into. Because none of this is of consequence to anyone outside of me. And I decide whether or not it is of consequence to me. So in that regard, this is all utter BS. All of it. Show up, do the work, be kind, and be generous. Like that's the whole trick. And my hunch, I've got another note here, is that all this aligns. I don't know if it's a hunch, maybe that's not the right word, but some advice that Greg Hickman of Alt Agency shared on a community call recently. I think it was a couple weeks ago, where he said nobody cares. People are looking for info to help them complete something or do something or learn something. People want the info. That's really all they're there for. I don't matter. That's how I took that. Like, it's not that I don't matter. It's that, like, you don't have to watch this just because of me or be a fan of me or the work I do. Just as I watch some YouTube channels to learn a specific thing because it is about a specific topic. It's less about the personality, and the personality is great, but it's not essential as the information. And that's what I mean by being generous, is that by sharing things and giving away the keys to the castle or the keys to specific accomplishments or information for specific tools or something like that, that's how we help people. So here's my last note, and it's time to be unapologetically me. That's why I'm off topic here. That's why I'm not expertising, and I'm not sharing any specific to-do items for any apps or anything like that today. Today, I'm just showing up as myself and sharing the things that I think people would take me down for if I was more popular. But also, I'm putting this on record. So if anybody ever said, oh, he's got stupid hair or he speaks like a clown or whatever, I can say, yeah, I have a whole video about that, bro. Like, I know. And if I have a fear, it's that the people I've worked with in the past and the big agencies who are VPs of this and presidents of that, CEO of this, you know, it's that I went into Squarespace, that I started playing small ball. And you know what? Fuck them. That's their problem. It's not mine. And I'm not going to create the content that isn't aligned with the business I personally want to build for the life I want to live for my family. So, and finally, I want to give a shout out to my man, Steven Thompson of Big Daddy Digital. I think I'm going to @ him in the description here. He inspired this topic. It's based on a conversation that we had over a year ago. So I have put a lot of thought into this. And Steven, your work still inspires me today. So if you're watching this, I just want to say thank you. It means a lot, man. And the work you do and the videos you create, they all touch me and they connect with me. And that really means something. So if you're watching this, thank you. And if you watched this absolutely weird diatribe for 16 whole minutes, you're incredible. Thank you. I'm not going to do this very often, but it might be cool to do some behind the scenes stuff. So maybe periodical. I also don't have people coming in here and asking me questions, though we did have three viewers a minute ago. That's pretty amazing. Obviously, I said something that made them want to bounce. And that's okay too. Listen, I hope you have a great weekend. It's Mother's Day this weekend, and I know that can be a difficult thing for a lot of people. And I'm sorry about that. And for others, I hope you enjoy. And I will see you back here Monday, 11 a.m. And I'll probably have a real topic then. So I'm not inspired to do a thumbnail moment here. Because it's a fairly serious topic, and I'm gonna put like limiting beliefs or something like behind my head in the thumbnail graphic. That'll be interesting. I can't be smiling when I say that, right? That would be contrast. So I need like a serious face, like and then I wound up doing a thumbnail moment. I appreciate you.